At one stage of my life, I got to 120 kilos. I looked at myself in the mirror and I didn't recognize myself anymore. I was lost, unmotivated, lazy. I had no clear goal, no clear direction in life and the path that I wanted to pursue in. I was just stumbling across and living day to day without no clear vision, which ultimately led me to depression. Growing up, I grew up pretty athletic. I played football all through my youth up until 18. When I turned 18 and I was playing in an under 20s squad here in Sydney, I realized all the corruption and that I would not make it anywhere in my passion and in my dream that I wanted to become a football player, that I just stopped. I quit, which then led me to working on the tools as a roofer. And during that process, I lost myself. I wasn't training, nothing at all. I was eating junk food almost every day. My breakfast consisted of a meat pie, V, and a cigarette. Yes, I built some toxic habits along the way. And that was my life. And I thought that's the life that I'm gonna forever live, because I did not know nothing else apart from football. As football, honestly, as a young kid, was my goal and my dream of becoming. I used to wake up, when I was 13, 14 years old, I used to wake up in the morning, run around the block before school, watch Ronaldo videos, watch Iniesta videos, watch Xavi videos, and get inspired by those guys. And all I remember in high school, my two favorite times in high school was recess lunch, where we go to the back and we play football. That's all I knew. So after I turned 18 and that was no longer part of my life, I didn't know what to do with my life anymore. So ultimately, I ended up picking up a trade with my dad. Worked as a roofer. Very unfit, very depressed, very sad. It was just not my type of thing. I had no structure anymore. I had no routine. My routine was wake up in the morning, eat rubbish food, go work, drink all sugary drinks during the day, come back home, sleep, and repeat. That was my life in a nutshell back then. It didn't happen overnight. 90 kilos led to 100 kilos, 100 kilos led to 110. And I always knew that I was going in a downward spiral, but I did not have the willpower or the discipline to change it. So I just accepted it. And once I accepted it, that's when I truly failed, because I honestly thought that was going to be me for the rest of my life. I was going to be an obese, fat kid that is just going to be a roofer, and that was my life. I was going to come home on the couch, watch Netflix, do shit that I did not want to do. But when you're in that state, and I'm sure people can relate, when you're that low down, you don't see any light at the end of the tunnel. You just accept it, and you have no hope for yourself anymore. Every night you go to sleep, you're depressed, you hate yourself, but that's the life you chose pretty much. And I'm here to tell you that that's the life you chose, and life is what you make it. Because anybody that's living and breathing is capable of achieving anything they put their mind to, once they master the mind, and once the mind doesn't become a limiting factor. Take me, for example. I was 120 kilos. You can see the pictures right here. I knew I had to change. I knew that I had to stop what I was doing and pursue a healthier lifestyle. But every night I told myself, tomorrow comes. I'll tell myself again, tomorrow. That tomorrow becomes months and years until ultimately I just accepted it. I'd wake up ashamed of myself, look in the mirror, see an obese, young kid with no goals, no purpose, no direction in life. And it was just embarrassing. Honestly, that was just an embarrassing moment of my life. I'm not really proud of that moment, but I look at that moment, and those kind of moments in life, those times when you are down, shape you into the man or the lady that you are going to become. Because if it wasn't for that moment that I was feeling ashamed of myself, I wasn't feeling satisfied, I had no purpose, those moments make you question yourself and your abilities and your identity pretty much, and your purpose in this life. And every day you look into that and try to find a purpose and a goal and a mission and what you want from the life, and what you want life to look like. And that can either break you, or it can give you more motivation and more purpose into pursuing what you want to do. Eventually, I was very ashamed of myself. I kept looking in the mirror and the weight kept going up and up and up. Every shirt that I put on, you can just see the love handles coming from the side, the gut coming from the front, the man boobs just hanging there, double chin. There was one day that I said enough is enough, and I walked myself into the gym. That first day in the gym, I tried to do everything because I thought how to get abs in 30 days was a real thing back then. No, mind you, internet wasn't big back then. Science-backed exercises, education, information wasn't readily available as it is today. So you just believe, as an ignorant kid, you just believe everything you've been told. So I went to the gym. I was doing push-ups, front push-ups. I was doing back exercises, leg exercises, all in one day. And I know that is not a proper structure or a proper program to follow, but in that hour, just something came on top of me. Like that feeling, I don't know how to explain it. Just in that moment at the gym, AirPods in, back then we had the cable AirPods, headphones in, you just forgot, you just lost touch with reality for like 1 hour, and you actually felt good about yourself, like you are doing something to help you get better. You are doing something that's gonna ultimately bring you joy and happiness. You are working on yourself. You are working on your goals. You are working, even though I didn't have goals back then, but you're working on yourself pretty much, and you just feel good in that moment. But as I mentioned, no program, no plan. So I'd go in for a week. I'll train religiously for a week. I'll feel good for a week. Weekend comes or something happens along the way, and I'll just slack off and go back to how I was. And it was a constant repeated cycle for a long time. I can't really tell you how long, but it was a long time. It was 1 week off, couple weeks back, 1 week on, couple weeks back off. 1 week on, it was just a 1 step forward, 10 steps back kind of approach. No plan, no system in place. I was just winging it pretty much. But I do know what it feels like to be stuck, to look yourself in the mirror daily and just question yourself and question, how the fuck did I end up in this situation? Or how did I let myself go that far to be in the situation that I am? Because you, me, you, everyone is in control of their own lives. One thing I hated, and I still hate to this day, is the victim mentality. I hate the mentality that people have where they blame everyone else for their problems but themselves. In hindsight, you are the only one to blame because you are responsible for your life. As I mentioned earlier, life is what you make it. You can either have a life that is great, your dream body, dream endurance, dream job, or you can have a life of depression, of downward spiraling, of just never being satisfied with yourself. You are in charge of picking either you want life A or life B. No one else dictates that for you. So the victim mentality has to be abolished. I also had the victim mentality back then. I used to blame the corrupted football system in Australia for making me the way I am today, but no, I was a problem. I fed myself all the junk food, all the sugary drinks, all those cigarettes, all those just rubbish nutrition. I didn't train. I didn't go to the gym. I didn't pursue my goals and my dreams. I sat on the couch comfortably watching TV, watching YouTube, whatever it was at the time. I did that. The corrupted system trickled that, But my response to that was my response. It wasn't their response. I could have used that as fuel and go train harder or go into other avenues of my life. But I didn't. And ultimately that is my fault. But this story isn't about getting the perfect body or me trying to sell you a program, because there's plenty of other people trying to sell you a program. This is a story of how one man lost himself early on, but had the courage, the grit, and the mind endurance to pick himself back up and chase a better life for himself. I have managed to pull myself out of that depressing situation that I ultimately thought was going to be me for the rest of my life, and turn something depressing into something rewarding and good. I'm going to be explaining to you guys how I pulled myself out of that situation, got my dream body, got the mental framework dialed in to resist and have perseverance in oneself. Because if you are weak-minded and you don't wholeheartedly believe in yourself, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be clear cut. This is not for you. This is for the people that are deep down in the gutter, that see no hope or any light at the end of the tunnel. I am a living testimony that if you have the grit, the perseverance, the vision, and the endurance to pursue your goals, and your mind is not the limiting factor, there is nothing stopping you. Honestly, there is nothing stopping you. The only thing stopping you is yourself. And I am, as I mentioned earlier, a living testimony of that. I have created a company since then called Overtime Labs. I have chosen the name Overtime Labs because it reflects our commitment as a company, as an individual, to put in the extra work required to achieve our goals. Because this wasn't no easy task. This is not a get rich quick scheme or get abs in 30 days documentation. This is a series of what it entails to create the dream life through repetitive discipline, through repetitive daily habits, as only through daily habits you do achieve excellence. Because at the end of the day, excellence is a habit, like anything else. You start smoking for 2 weeks, it becomes a habit. You start gambling for 2 weeks, it becomes a habit. You watch pornography for 2 weeks, it becomes a habit. Same with the good things in life. Excellent, discipline, hard work, grit, it's all a habit. Once a person continuously shows up daily, even though the marginal gains, or even though they don't see any marginal gains, it's the process of delayed gratification that is going to yield the results that you want. My name is Aj, and I am going to be showing you all this because if I can climb out of that soul-sucking, soul-drenching hole that I was once in, everyone can. I lost hope at a young age, but now, 10 years later, I feel like I can achieve anything that I put my mind to. And that is the framework, and that is the belief system that you want to have. Prove others wrong and prove yourself right. You got to believe in yourself wholeheartedly that you can achieve whatever you put your mind to, and just chase it. If you fail, so be it. At least you tried. Not everyone's going to succeed in everything they do, but it's better to be on your deathbed knowing that you tried and you failed than saying that I wish I tried, because now I don't know if I would have failed or I would have succeeded. That is my take on this. I'll see you in the next video. Any support is appreciated. A like, a comment, a share, a subscribe. Share along with your friends and family. Join the journey. I am going to be documenting a lot more of what I am going to be doing. There is a couple things in 2026 that I want to achieve for my personal accolade and for the company's accolade. So join the journey, follow along, and I'll see you in the next one.